Hey everyone, welcome to Plants and Politics. So a January 6th insurrectionist was just indicted and his charges were increased. So you guys know what that means. It's time for a Plants and Politics episode of Where Are They Now?
Matthew Bledsoe was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Okay, so if you guys have been following my U.S. Capitol arrest playlists on YouTube, then you will definitely remember this guy because I just recently profiled him in a video short. I'm referring to former West Virginia lawmaker Derrick Evans. Evans is the 35-year-old man who was literally just elected to the West Virginia House of Delegates in November of last year. And so already he's been forced to step down after being arrested for what he did in regard to the January 6th domestic terrorist attack at the Capitol. So this is the guy who, prior to being elected, he used to stand outside of an abortion clinic in his area. And he did this on a weekly basis, and he would film women as they were entering and exiting. And all the while he's yelling horrific things at them, trying to guilt them about what they're doing. And the employees say that many of the women would come into the clinic crying because of him. Evans also doxed the clinic employees who were then targeted by his followers. And after a judge issued a restraining order because of him doxing these people, the judge ordered, he wanted him to stay away from the clinic. And then all of a sudden, a group of Oath Keepers started showing up. And so they were patrolling the sidewalk out in front of this clinic with weapons. So yeah, terrorizing people much. And odd how all of these right-wing politicians are somehow connected to these anti-American extremist groups. But it makes sense because, these macho bully type kind of hang out together. And, these are the guys who have to carry around weapons to feel safe and secure. And they're also chauvinists who don't believe that women have rights and autonomy over their own body and should be able to do what they want. So anyway, back to the other bully chauvinist, Derrick Evans. If that didn't ring a bell yet, this is also the guy who told Black lawmakers to go back where they came from. He's also one who harassed one of these Black lawmakers who is not only Black, but she's also queer. And he kept calling her satanic. That's a direct quote. Said she's satanic. He also equated her support for the LGBTQ community to defending pedophilia. Yeah. So apparently he thinks anybody who falls under the LGBTQ category that they're all pedophiles. So Evans also worked with a high school football team for a period of time, and the school's principal was a female. Well, evidently, he just must have a hatred and disrespect for all women because he used to get in her face and scream at her. Now, I'm no psychiatrist, but, just sounds like this guy maybe has some mommy issues. He might want to look into that. So because of all this, because he's so vile, it brings me just great joy to announce that a grand jury not only indicted this misogynistic, bigoted piece of walking excrement, but they also increased his charges. So originally, Evans was looking at only up to 3 years in prison. He was looking at those basic 4 misdemeanor charges that so many people are being charged with that went to the Capitol. He was looking at entering a restricted building, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, and then the parading or demonstrating in a Capitol building. Well, now he's facing an additional felony charge. He's facing a charge of obstructing an official proceeding and then also aiding and abetting in that same crime. So that adds a potential 20 years to his sentence if he's convicted. Now, as we've all seen, I wouldn't get our hopes up, because a lot of these January 6th domestic terrorists are getting off with a short sentence and, probation or whatever. And since Evans admittedly did not partake in any violence and he didn't damage anything at the Capitol that day, to be honest, I can't see him doing any serious prison time, unfortunately. I mean, if only you could put people in prison for being sanctimonious, sexist, racist assholes. I mean, if that were the case, then yeah, he'd be in prison for decades, but that's not what we're looking at here. So, but I just love these men who just want to tell every woman what they can and can't do with their bodies. How does this guy know what these women are going in there for? They could be going in there for an abortion, but they could be going in there for another health reason. And they could have also been raped by their father or their brother. They could have just been through one of the most traumatic experiences ever in their life. And they're going in because maybe they don't have the financial means to take care of this child, or maybe they don't want a reminder every day of their life of being pinned down and physically violated. But this guy is just adding to their trauma because he thinks he knows better. God knows women couldn't possibly know what's best for them. We need a man around to tell us. Okay, so let's hope that this guy does some time in prison. Might wake him up a little bit. I doubt it, but it might. Anyway, if I hear any more, I'll let you know. Thank you so much for watching, listening. Please like, share, subscribe. Please head below, click on the link that says let's hang out, and please become a friend or a supporter of the show if you can. Thanks so much, guys. I'll talk with you soon. Take care.